All right, we're back.
Hello, everyone. We're back for our parking lot movie reviews.
Yes.
This time we saw
One battle
after another. And we just got in the car. We're still in the parking lot, and we are ready to unpack a little bit of our initial reaction.
Yeah, go for it. What do you got?
What an epic film.
Mm-hmm.
What an epic.
Yeah.
And I think it's a modern day epic. And I like that. It just, at no point did I wonder, like, when is this going to end? Or I don't like the pacing, or I'm bored at this part. Mm-hmm. It really had my attention from the very beginning up into the end. I was kind of just ready for it to unfold, ready for the adventure to keep going. So I really loved that this was the type of movie that I didn't wonder what time it was.
Definitely what I got from it was, like, right off the bat, not even off the bat, like after a while as it unpacked, was like a spiritual successor to Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb, Burn After Reading. And then there was one other film that I had thought of that I disregard now, but I'll bring up again later. But no, it was, to reiterate what you said, a complete epic. It really kept you going. It had this, again, like another movie that has, like, acknowledgments into, like, understanding and accepting that conspiracy theories can be, like, totally realistic. But then, like, just, like, not. It still had a fantastical element for being as, like, deep, dark, and espionage-ridden as it is.
So I loved that. Like, normally with movies, that espionage is, like, not my thing. Mm-hmm. I normally don't see a lot of films that have that theme in it. This one, again, it just had me enthralled in it. One thing I loved is that it had the backdrop of things, that current events that are happening right now. Like, immigration was a big part of this film, like a backdrop of it.
It was a backdrop for sure.
Yes.
Not necessarily, like, it, like, it's happening, but it was, I mean, without giving too much away, yes, definitely backdrop.
Yeah. So, and the way they portrayed it was quite beautiful. Like, I loved seeing the sense of community that they showed in this film, and especially in regards to the Latino community. Again, it's a backdrop of the film. It is about something else. But it having that in it was again refreshing to see, because it's like modern day issues, stuff that you can turn on the news right now and you see, and it really is about revolution, and yeah. What are your thoughts on that aspect?
I'm still, like, I guess I'm still, like, leaning on, like, the concept of it being, like, a successor of especially Dr. Strangelove. It has this whole, like, mentality of kind of like a constant state of paranoia, and I found that to be, like, good in this movie, because it kept it, like, engaging. Like, I wasn't, you
didn't know who to trust. You don't know what's what's gonna happen next.
I wasn't ever at a point where, as you mentioned earlier, like, bored or wondering when it was gonna, like, change acts. The acts all blended very well together, and it was just very cohesive. It was, like, the most I've maybe ever seen from Paul Thomas Anderson being Paul Thomas Anderson to, like, an absolute extreme.
It's so, and the way they portrayed, like, counterculture as well. Like, there's this one scene with, like, people on skateboards, and it was so, like, beautiful. It was like they were on their skateboards, and there was, like, the score is kind of like a, like, Latin jazz fusion at times, and it had that, and they were, like, kind of like they were helping out, Leonardo DiCaprio's character, and it's just, like, little things like that. Even the way they captured it on camera and stuff like that were very striking. Like I said, this kind of, like, uplifting of the countercultures in our society.
And then it's important that you said like countercultures, because ultimately they all recognized each other as allies.
Yes.
Whereas all too often, I mean, there was a very clear narrative, I would say, that has to do with countercultures realizing that they are all allies, whereas the opposing force to the counterculture has very clear dividing lines that puts them at odds even with each other.
Yeah. There's a lot of a great like summarization of kind of like the overall theme of the film. Just to go with that, the acting in this film, the characters, just phenomenal. Benicio del Toro's character was so incredibly fascinating. I wanted more of him for sure. Like I loved his character.
Honestly, I could say that's another one, and it's because of Benicio del Toro and the way that he acts in a clandestine manner, that I would actually say that the first Sicario is also like, this is a spiritual successor to that as well. There's so many movies and like themes involved, but it wasn't so much to where it was overwhelming. It all fit so well together.
It did. Again, it was executed. There's a lot of ideas, but it was executed so well by Paul Thomas Anderson. I believe he wrote the screenplay as well.
Yeah, I think he did the screenplay, but it's like based off something called Vineyard, maybe.
We'll have to do some more research on that for sure. But yeah, the characters were, you were invested. You were so invested in the main characters and their journey, and were they going to find each other again? And but then what was going to happen to all these other characters as well, like that were part of the French 75? You know, like they really were able to like encompass that, like the investment in such a short amount of time, because of like how well it was written and how well the actors portrayed their characters. I cannot remember her name, and it's making me so mad.
Chase Infinity, maybe?
No. I'm not gonna remember her name, and I honestly can't remember what she's in. But anyways, that is Chase Infinity. I
believe that's the
daughter.
Yeah,
great. This is the first film I've seen her in. Fantastic.
Yeah, great contribution to this, like entirely, like carried opposite Leonardo DiCaprio with so much ease. Also, you know, like Leo, like wow. You know,
Regina Hall. Yeah. Sorry, I had to say it. Yes.
Is that who you were trying to remember?
Yes, that's who I was trying to remember.
Over here thinking it was someone else.
Regina Hall. She plays a really great character in this film, and so like I said, believable, and you're like almost honorable as well. Like again, the way that they portray the French 75 too, like. It was with so much care, and they were also able to like make jokes about it too. Like there's a lot of humor in the film,
so much
as well.
A whole lot
so
more than
it is about revolutionary concepts. This group, you know what I mean, fighting for what they believe in, but then also losing touch, and you know what happens after that. And again, serious backdrop, but they were able to have like such great humor in it. Like we were laughing in the theater at multiple parts.
Yeah, definitely a lot of that. You know, to bring it back around to talking about like how it was French 75 being revolutionary, it later expands that, you know, as we mentioned earlier, like the countercultures. Ultimately, like coming back around to that, like championing the concept of the counterculture and existence being a form of revolution. That's honestly like it kind of all in a sense equated to like a little bit of like right to protest type deal.
Yeah, and like I said, a sense of community too, like having something you stand for.
Race was a
big theme,
very like determining theme in it, and it was like intentional in the sense that it wasn't just like slopped in your face. It was put there in a very intentional way.
Oh yeah,
that made it clear why who was doing what, and it made it even more menacing at times. It like the menace in the movie was a character in itself.
Yes. But yeah, let's give our rating.
All right, I'm ready for that rating. How about you?
I'm ready. So we're gonna give our glizzy rating.
Glizzy rating on 3.
Okay, on 3.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
4.5. Nice. So we gave it a 4.5.
Yeah,
That's
solid.
our rating. Again, these are our initial reacts. We'll go more in depth later on,
Yeah.
eventually, on this movie. But yeah, this is our parking lot review.
Definitely. All right. See you for the next one.
Bye.